same way you do. The same way other lesbians do. It's not calculus. No, but I get it. I understand in 2021 you're not allowed to say you know what a lesbian looks like, right? Judging by your silence, yes, right? Yeah, you're not allowed, right? What's funny is some white guy a lesbian? Am I I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Right? Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. A female before this is in public. People are going to see this shit. What's going to happen, right? But I'm not going to lie to you. She started closing in. She was moving. So I, leaned in. I really got my legs underneath me because she was built like a janitor, and I was not going to get spun around. I wasn't getting spun around, not having that on the fucking logbook, right? So I leaned into this shit, and at the last second, she turned her shoulder, and we just missed shoulders, but our forearms still slapped together with significant enough force that it warranted a turnaround. It's just burning me up, and I know eventually it's going to settle in my chest, and then one more time it's going to be, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do this to my daughter. I can't do this to my kids. So I started reading up on anger. Like how to let go of shit, I think is what I Googled. And I found empathy. If you have empathy for somebody, you put yourself in their shoes, you can just, figure out where they're coming from, where you're coming from, you can meet in the middle. So I said, all right, here we go. Let me Did she have a club foot? No. Did she just have a stroke? Did she have Bell's palsy of her left side? Was she a mummy? Did she have a wooden leg? Is she one of those, those fucking diagonal walkers? You get behind them at the airport, they're walking too slow, you try to go around to the right, they start dragging their suitcase over there. You go over to the left, they're coming back this way, it's like they just got off a ship. And everything was just like, no, cut! Right? I'm still mad. I know why she did it. I know why she bumped into me. She bumped into me because she's a lesbian. Or you don't. And it's like, no. What I kind of learned is fucking everything is sort of a spectrum, right? Not just autism, I'm sick of words getting hijacked, all right? When I was a kid, the spectrum was the color spectrum. Dr. J and the 76ers played in an arena called the Spectrum, right? So the first time somebody said to me, hey, my kid's on the spectrum, I'm thinking, no, he isn't. They tore that shit down in 2010. Even a case, a 12-pack, and jean shorts and a half shirt, right? And then this over here, this is like a teetotaler. Like, I tried alcohol, I didn't like it. It just, I've always been into books, That's been my drug, I like a good book, all right? And I'll tell you, when you see me reading that book, I am in that book, and I ain't taking that journey, right? But there's all fucking this. My drinking got all the way. I realized I could. But there's all fucking this. My drinking got all the way. I realized I couldn't have it in the house. That's what it was. I just consumed it, and then I got all the way to right here, right? I mean, I wasn't sucking dick, but the donut shop was over the horizon. The donut shop was in view, and I was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I couldn't fucking stop. But then so then I thought I was an alcoholic, so I went to an AA meeting, and the people were telling their stories, and after a couple people sharing, I was just going all right, I drink, but these people, Jesus Christ. I mean, they were animals, yellow fingers, still smoking, chowing down pastries. And they're like, Bill, would you like to go up and share some of your stories? I was like, I can't fucking follow that. I had 3 tall bourbons and fell asleep to the Rockford Files. I don't think that's going to follow this guy, I had 3 tall bourbons and fell asleep to the Rockford Files. I don't think that's going to follow this guy, Missing teeth and selling his ass in the street. I can't follow that, right? But there was something going on. So I just realized, like, I can't have this shit in the house. It's in the house. I'm going to fucking consume it. Alcohol, even cookies. I tell my wife, get the cookies out of the fucking house, especially Oreos. I'm going to eat a whole fucking sleeve. And she says, well, why can't you just eat? Well, eat the whole fucking sleeve, and then I won't even brush my teeth. So I'll have that sugar morphine drip, like, coming down the back of my throat, and I'll have these crazy fucking Keebler elf dreams or whatever. Get it out of the fucking house. That's what I need to do. Right? That's what I learned. Like, I have no desire to do heroin whatsoever. However, if it was in my house long enough and the right set of circumstances came along, maybe I talked to my dad that day on the phone, tried to get a job done, and then you lose, and then he just psychologically has the advantage. But if you do it after 17, now you're just beating up an old man. You see his anchor tattoo, you're like, fuck, he was in the Navy. Jesus Christ, I'm beating up a veteran. Oh, man, I feel like a piece of shit here, All right, here's another one for you. I didn't think I was homophobic, right? I didn't. No, because I didn't have a problem. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem, them getting married or any of that shit. And I thought it was totally natural. I was just like, that's just like how you're born. And when people would be like, oh, no, it's a choice. They're choosing to be gay. I love when somebody said that. Okay, let's say it's a choice. Then that would mean being straight is a choice, right? So that would mean that you, at some point, hypothetically, had a dick and a pussy on the table and had a choice to make. See, on the table and had a choice to make, right? You were sitting there, all right, which way am I going to go? Well, let's see. This one hurts more, but I get to keep my house. And then this one over here feels amazing, but everything seems to disappear down into it. I mean, it's a coin flip. As far as I'm concerned, it's a coin flip. Straight edge, Geronimo, right? So I realized, like, I want a woman. What the fuck are you asking me? I don't want some man. I didn't even picture a man. I just saw a male arm from here down to here with black hair with like grease on it just coming up my back, going, okay, just breathe. I'm like, it feels better, you fixed it. Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, so like, I like just the image of that. I like fucking recoiled. And I was almost like defensive. I was like, no, I want a woman, right? And then, the way I look, in my age, I look like some creep that was looking for a fucking happy ending. You can't be in there like, no matter how I said it, it came off like, yeah, I want a woman. I want a, that's like a gay coming. Yeah, thinking I'm looking for a happy ending, which I wasn't. But, I will say I do have issue with them calling it a full body massage. It's like, it's not a full body massage. It's everything but street. And that doesn't feel, it feels weird. And I know what you guys are thinking. You probably think, oh, Bill, why don't you just rub one out before you go to the masseuse? It's like, because I won't make the appointment, all right? I'm going to fall asleep upright in the chair, and then my neck's going to be fucked up and my back. Now I got two problems. It would be great if they legalized it, though. You know what I mean? It'd be fantastic. You just have like a regular masseuse in there. You got to have the real masseuse at the beginning, right? Because hand job, like most women, terrible hand job. Most women, terrible fucking hand job. Not even trying to get better at it either, by the way. Like the skill set. Like, you ever get this one, the 3 fingertips? Do you ever get this? It's like, what are we doing here? Are we waiting for the next lunar eclipse? Is there, what I never thought I'd say this. This is just fucking annoying. You're just like annoying. Why don't you just flick the head of my fucking dick while you're at it? What are you doing? All right? You're supposed to be simulating penetration. Over immediately, right? Oh, it'd be fantastic. I would run a massage parlor like that, like a baseball manager. I'd have the real masseuse go in, eat up about 8 innings, and then I take the lube. All right, you're done. You did a great job. Then you bring in the lefty. All right, let's get in here, right? And she comes in, gives you a hand job better than 90% of the blow jobs you ever got in your life. Then you walk out of there, your body's loose, your balls are empty, you can hear your wife's voice again, and everything's good. Maybe that would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet.
Well, it would have been if you didn't do what you just did. There would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right?
I think I know how to raise a kid. You know what it is? You just play catch with them. That's how you raise a kid. You play catch with them. You just talk about life. You distract them by throwing the ball. They don't even notice. You feel something bad, you feel bad, you know? Unless you're like a sociopath, then you don't feel shit. Unless you got somebody duct taped upside down in your apartment, you know? Hey, if you do something like that, I want you to feel like you can come to me, you know? Yeah, come to me, confess all of that. We'll go down to the precinct, we'll tell them everything. Yeah, I'm gonna turn you in. This isn't fucking Dexter. What are you mind?
Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. What's that? It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I want you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the rope. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant...
People are, excuse me, you're supposed to say we're pregnant? You're supposed to say we're pregnant? It's like, well, I'm not a seahorse. So, I'm not fucking pregnant. My wife is pregnant. Look at her. She's putting on weight. Her feet are swelling up. You know, she's miserable. Fucking miserable. I'm still doing pull-ups. I'm crushing it. While being pregnant. I'm still drinking, smoking. Yeah.
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000-seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass.
You know, no, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the... No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. At the mall, what happened? No, it's unreal. I'm really fucking annoyed how white women have the fucking balls to throw my white privilege in my face. You know? Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in a jacuzzi with me. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, quit your fucking whining. Look. Here's a little caveat here, so you don't think I'm a complete asshole right out of the gate. All right, if you live...
You feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what... I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
I'm not totally following.
SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
I'm not totally following, but I don't think
you know what I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
Anytime
I came on, that kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know. We were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great.
Wow, Bill, this is, you know what, because I've been getting a lot of calls, and no offense to anybody that else has called, but this is probably the most shocking one.
Are you old enough to be the head of the dragon in the dragon? You worked your way up to the middle of the body? Where are you?
I'm not quite there yet, but
happy birthday.
Thank you, Bill, and you calling in is like, it's kind of like we record at my house. I live in Hollywood. It's easy.
Of course you live in Hollywood, you big phony.
What do you live in Silver Lake? Where do you live?
Why would I tell people where I live?
Silver Lake's a big place, Bill.
I'm just glad they put the water back. No, I don't live over there. No.
How much is that?
10 and then another 10.
So it's 20. You can go to the cash.
He's got a pair of fours.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Wait, you know what I have?
Pair of fours.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Wait, you know what I have?
You just said it.
Al, don't
Fuck that, I'm not betting.
advice from him.
He said it already.
I didn't say anything.
No, he didn't. He said he's got a pair. You didn't know what I had. You cheating son of a bitch.
Oh!
He
In the
fucking-
Old West,
he
you'd be
cheated.
dead. You'd be dead. This
Wow.
guy's doing fucking bits
Wow.
about extra and the newsboy, and he's playing his fucking cars around.
Oh,
I saw they hit a 4 and
You're
6.
right. Fuck
No,
him.
it isn't.
Fuck
Right?
Barf.
If that's how you saw it, why did you lie at first and try to say it was him? You Bobby Lee.
What is
All
up,
these
man?
years of knowing you.
My eye. Can you see this?
Don't put it on your fucking little eyes.
He's got a cheater's haircut. That's what it is.
I have these little
further away.
I have these little Asian eyes. I don't have peripheral. So every time if I look, I have to.
Then how did you know
turn
what
my
he
head.
had?
Why did you put it on him first? You lied. If you were telling the truth, you would have just told
Hold
the
on a
truth.
second. If you want to say it's just a gut feeling from your improv, you felt it maybe.
Why are you trying to help him out?
I'm glad you didn't, the way you just put it.
No, but in terms of like, it wasn't like you frolicking. You don't look like somebody that would frolic.
You frolicking?
Or like, be in a, just in wheat, and running.
He always. What backyard was this?
No, I'm just saying.
You know what this is?
What?
He brought it up. He got uncomfortable, so he's trying to make me uncomfortable.
No, I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. I'm just saying, I just, would never see you, with butterflies. I just would, I would have performance anxiety
I think you would too.
with him, yeah. With Eric Griffin, no. Lay on your stomach, I got it. You know what I mean? And I just put my
Riffing
arm
with
around
Griffin.
it. Yeah, I'll riff it with a Griffin, yeah. But with Billy, no.
You can go all in for $11.
If I give you this, will you start giving me shit about the fucking cheating? I'll give you this, and I'll give you
giving
this.
me dollars?
Yeah. Shut the fuck up now about the cheating. Fuck up now about the cheating.
Oh, now he's trying to go aggressive. You gonna try to guerrilla your way through this? No, keep your chips. You're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit. We don't care about money here. It's all about.
He's just trying to buy it out with like $11.
Buy out.
Hey, now will this shut you up like he just pulled up in a Rolls Royce? Fucking asshole. All right, there we go.
I got $11.
One
I
for
want.
the cheater.
My cousin and I robbed a Ross Dress for Less. And without even anything happening, I drove away.
You left him there?
I left him there.
What happened to him now?
Because I thought I heard cops coming.
Yeah.
Right? He had just walked in. Cops are coming. It was just like
It's
an
like a
instinctual.
thief hypochondriac.
It was like an instinctual, and I just left him there, right?
Yeah.
And then he turned out, when he walked in, he didn't do the gun thing. He just tried to steal some shoes because he had like a toy gun that he was going to, right? But he went to juvie, but I ran away from home. I lived in.
I know, but I already apologized.
I understand that.
Don't ever rob a bank with this guy. That would be him rolling
Mr.
over.
Bill? Oh, yeah, he rolled
One fucking
quick.
question. Did you do it?
Yes,
it
Bill,
was
yeah.
Jay wanted to do it. How about? Would I really rob a bank with sandals on?
Did you shave your head for a part?
Huh?
A role?
No, I'm bald.
No.
I'm
But
going bald.
I know, but did you? Because you still had some stuff residue. Yeah. What? Is that the? That's fine. You're Bill Burr, but.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Yeah, go ahead. I
The
just
process of you coming out of the gate shitting on me.
Yeah.
You know, when you start to lose your hair, you got three options.
Yeah.
You can,
Yeah.
and there's subsets to all of them.
All right.
Okay, you can do the Rogaine, the hair plugs,
Right.
a system, fuck,
Yeah.
and do what I did. So I just said fuck it.
Okay.
But what if
And I do. Like,
you-
I love how you came at me aggressive, and now you're going. You got your little panda hands.
I was.
up.
I love how you attacked my little panda hand.
That's
Let
what
me-
you look like. You look like a little panda.
I know. I was just because when you took your hat
like a
off.
little adolescent bear.
Oh, fine. I'll take that. They're cute. But
They're
what I'm-
adorable.
I know they're very adorable, but I was just asking because when you took your hat off, I was a little shocked. That's all. The fucking Koreans. You took your hat off, I was a little shocked. That's all. The fucking Koreans are so rude to me.
Why?
he doesn't speak Korean?
Not only do I not speak Korean, they don't know who I am. Right. So like I'll.
Hey, do you know who I am?
No, that's not why. No, that's not.
What do I got to go to North Korea to get a fucking decent table around here?
That's not what it is. It's just my index finger, right?
Yeah.
I go, no, that was your thumb, bro. He thumbed it.
You're positive.
I don't have thought. I never thought of the third fucking option.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have.
Maybe he's got little hands.
Maybe he's got little hands.
You probably gave him a complex. He came home all moody, and his girlfriend's like, "What's the matter? I don't want to talk about it. What's the matter? It happened again. What happened? Oh, I put my index finger in somebody's asshole, and they were convinced it was my thumb. You don't understand. It's a man thing, okay?
Yeah. Baby.
But he's in my head.
You son of a bitch. How dare you look at my cards? You cost me like $11.
I can't believe you did that.
And I'll never forgive you.
The thing is, he openly showed him to everyone, but you did it and just tried to use it to your advantage.
I don't like how he's doing the power move. I'm turning away from you. How dare you turn away from me? You're the one who did it to me. I put
Come
my
on. No,
back
it's
on you.
10. It's
$5, $10.
Yeah.
And I've been supporting you, and I've been sitting here to the side of your profile,
This is a good point.
seeing that there's
Yes.
not one fucking mustache whisker that's as even as the other one. They're all different heights.
This is a good point.
Seeing that there's
Yes.
not one fucking mustache whisker that's as even as the other one. They're all different heights.
He never trims it. That's natural.
It's like he took that potato peeler to his fucking mustache. And I haven't said a fucking word about it.
This is what happened, all right? Listen, this is what
It's an
happened.
enigma wrapped up in a riddle.
He was doing this, right? And I said, because he's got a 4 and a 6. Is that what you had?
What do you mean, is that what you had? You know what I had. You looked at my cards. You fucking dirty bastard.
I know. I already fucked up. So out of survival, I blamed it on Jay.
Unbelievable.
Boston accent real quick.
Okay.
I've always wanted to learn. So give me
Okay.
something that I could say.
Why don't you give me a sentence?
All right.
All right, try saying do your
Bob.
do your job.
Do your job.
What was that? Chinese?
Hey, do your job. No, that sounds Asian, right?
Like Asian New York.
Hey, do your. I just have
Keep
to,
going to Asian. Why do you keep going?
Why don't you say a fucking sentence and then I fucking repeat it?
Do your job.
I just had to see where you were. Job, do your job.
Job.
No, just think like saw.
Saw.
Say jaw.
Jaw.
What is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
Are you doing this on purpose?
No, I'm just trying to listen.
AW.
What is this called right here? This is your
a jaw.
You forget it. You know, for as unsafe and fucked up as they say, you know, what has happened to you?
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
You know what I mean? But I really like it.
I didn't feel you attacked me. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, were you coming from a place of negativity?
You are not average height in China.
Yes,
You're short for an Asian.
You're a Shazan.
New special.
You're a short Asian.
I'm a Shazan.
Shazan.
For sure. Yeah.
You know what I heard about you guys? Actually, by the way, I've been over here for a week, and as an American, I got to say something. You guys are pretty fat, too. Specifically the men. I don't know what's going on with the men, but I don't give a fuck how fat you get. You're going to pour yourself into your skinny jeans. They still got them. It's like you... Are you going to have at 41? You still going to have the bachelor party? Do you really need to, man? I mean, you're 41. You just lived the bachelor party for fucking 20 years, right? You do what? Like yeah, you melt it. Oh, yeah. What? I can't go to titty bars anymore. I just remember those. You can't see him. You're blind. Jeez. Well, thank you for fucking bringing it all the way down to your goddamn. I didn't ask you about your eyesight. I didn't ask you about your eyesight. Jesus Christ, you got problems with your kidneys too? We can just turn this into a benefit. Best man is blind too? Really? Yeah, I get it. Well, first of all, you're not fucking blind. You know what? You're looking around too much. You're not A good scam, man. That's not fucking better than that. You know what I mean?
There's no scam, it's surreal.
What? Well, you know, most comics would have just fucking left it after you said I'm lying. I'm sorry. And I literally delved into it to the point that somebody at the table just said, "This is my cane right here." I mean, you want me to bump into some shit? I mean, I don't know what I gotta do here to prove to you that I can't fucking see, because I can't fucking see. Jesus Christ. All right, I got it. You can't see. You proved it to me. You're blind. This woman has her hand over her mouth.
You're being so bad. Stop it. No.
Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. No more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, hey, you know, I'm actually taking care of it. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. First lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there. Well, let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money, and occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to? Oh, you just want to flip the whole fucking table over? Horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like, one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me, too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault? No, that's my point, man. Where are all the feminists in those situations?
Happy about it. I said, yeah, I turned 50 last year. She goes, how was turning 50 for you? You know, she goes, you're a guy. You probably don't care. It's much harder for a woman, especially with our careers. Oh, did I have fun with that? You know? I just wrote back, where? Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I mean? White women complaining is one of the funniest. It's like you got a fucking house and a beautiful family. What is the fucking... It's so much harder for...
To catch a predator guy to come walking out, like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? No, sit down. That show To Catch a Predator, man, that is horrible PR for white people, huh? Jesus Christ. Can they move that show to an urban area every once in a while? Just catch a couple of R. Kelly's peeing on some kids, you know? Just balance it out a little bit. It's like, does every dude walking in that house got to look like me? Like, yeah, man, a fucking 8-year-old. How are you?
Look, are we at least going to be able to split a cab? Because I wanted to go over and have a drink with you. Right. And I was like, at least be able to split a cab. And then you're like, why? Why do you want to split a cab? Just putting up the roadblock? And that's when I went all in. I said, because I want to kiss you. Bam. Right. Yeah. And then that was it. I didn't fucking talk to you after that. Yeah, you sat there with that little stunned look on your face. Then what happened? And we walked outside. Really then we walked out. That was the shit. That was one of the greatest. I used to, the fucking guys like that used to always get me. I was fucking seducing you, and it worked. Right? Then we hit the fucking red light. Yeah. I put one on you. Bam. Right? Mm-hmm. Couldn't feel your fucking feet. I'm going to make this story last 9 hours long. And then you know what happened? Then I sat back and I was playing Mr. fucking Cool again like I'm fucking Walt Frazier in 1972. Oh, the callback to the Knicks from an hour ago, right? Then what happened? We stopped again and
She either has no stairs in her house or someone doesn't know how to walk up them. That good. Did you call? Did you call the plumber? Thank you. And when she said it not like I was 10 feet away. She said it like I was downstairs in the rec room. Changing a fuse or something. That's not it.
I hope you found that educational. Now to bring on a man I'm thrilled to have here. As I mentioned, this comic is simply one of the best in the world. We're thrilled to welcome Bill Burr. How are you? Doing this one over here. What's on, man? How are you? I know, it's confusing. Good to see you. Good to see you.
All right. You dressed up more. I know. You got the pocket square, too. You're killing me.
Wait, I don't even own this suit.
Well, looks like you do. Looks tailor-made. Little snazzy socks going. What's on, man? How are you?
I know, it's confusing.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right. You dressed up more. I know. You got the pocket square, too. You're killing me.
Wait, I don't even own this suit.
Well, looks like you do. Looks tailor-made. Little snazzy socks going on.
Thank you. Oh, my legs. It is great to have you here. I'm a big fan myself, and you've been doing comedy a long time.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I meant that in a good way. How do you think Breaking Bad's going to end?
You know, hey, the snazzy socks going on.
Thank you. Oh, my legs. It is great to have you here. I'm a big fan myself, and you've been doing comedy a long time.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I meant that in a good way. How do you think Breaking Bad's going to end?
You know what? I have no idea, because whenever I do the show, like, all they do is they just give me my little scene. Right. So I'm as big a fan as anybody. So it was such a thrill when I finally, I kept bugging my agent, trying to get on, and I finally tidbits of information, but I have no idea.
Right, but you're a smart guy. So,
oh, he's pandering now, isn't he?
I know, you like that? But You're brilliant. You're a genius. Is there any clues while you're on set? Does Aaron Paul go home early any days? That's what I'm asking. You know, when they're shooting the last episode, you know? Did you hear a director go, all right, we're stabbing Skylar now? Like, did you?
No, they keep it really, really under wraps. I know what you know. That's
really?
Yeah.
I don't even I wouldn't want to know either.
That's
really?
Yeah.
I don't even I wouldn't want to know either.
Yeah.
People are saying you're the next Louis C.K. Not in a stylized sense, but in like
I'm a balding redhead?
Yeah.
Other than that.
Louis C.K. Bill Burr.
Yeah, you got to watch out for us balding redheads. We're coming on. I think that's pretty much where the comparison ends, as far as I'm concerned, because I am a huge fan of Louis, and I wouldn't so in front of me. He's also doing like one of the greatest shows on TV, writing, directing, acting in it, and all that. So
yeah,
he's put me to shame. That's what I'm saying.
You're on one of the greatest shows on TV right now.
I do stand up in strip malls. That's what I do. That's what I do. And occasionally I get some acting work, which is cool.
A lot of people know about that famous, that when you took it out on Philly, because they were a bad crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Your famous rant, which you've since said you like Philadelphia, and that wasn't the issue. You were just giving
people the first guy off stage, and I went on like 3 hours after that. So by the time I got up there, it was a complete shit show. And I don't know. They started booing, and I snapped and decided I wasn't going to leave, and I just attacked everything that they loved.
Yeah. And well.
Yeah. And you know what?
They're so twisted. They actually they enjoyed it, and then when I came back to Philly, they do it so much they don't even remember. They were like, oh, they're so twisted. They actually they enjoyed it, and then when I came back to Philly, they do it so much they don't even remember. They were like, oh, yeah. You know, I mean, I've seen him boo. I saw him boo. What was that? Destiny's Child. I saw him boo.
For what?
Because it was a bad management move. They sang at the NBA Finals. The 76ers were playing the Lakers. So I still remember it. They all came out, and they were like, yeah, I've been there. No, I was mad that they cut the commercial because I wanted to see if she did what I did. Like, you know what?
You were sort of crazy. You're the only small gun advocate I know. You're like everyone's like, knowing you shouldn't have guns. Some people are like, everybody needs a gun. You're like, get a small gun.
Yeah.
Only if the apocalypse happens.
No, you get like a 22. It's perfect.
Yeah. Which I think you feel like the day the power goes out, you're gonna have to shoot all your neighbors.
Game and you like burn down your city like a riot. It seems so trivial, but that's like, yeah, they always, what is that thing where they say a riot is an expression of, I'm too stupid to remember how
I don't know.
I know this. I know you're not nearly as happy as Michael Moore tried to make you out in that movie. Like, oh, everybody's up here, you know, just having a good time and leaving their doors unlocked. Nobody ever gets smashed over the head with a bottle. It was such...
Oh, no.
It just drove me nuts. You guys play enough hockey up here, you get that violent... Time out. The NHL is you guys too. So all the owners had to agree with that. And you all had to be like, we gotta like expand this thing.
We thought we'd funnel money into Canada and keep it here, but you guys took it over, like you tend to do. But
I'm not going to apologize for that.
No, you're big on the,
I mean, that's just business, dude. You're acting like we came and knocked you on the head. You know what we're about?
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah. Wait a second. Fellow white person, not native to...
Dude. What are you doing? Huel. Hey, quit screwing around. We are here to do a job, not channel Scrooge McDuck. You hearing me?
I hear you.
Dude. Screw it.
They were trying to do, when we were laying on the money, they said that they wanted to kind of be almost doing like a homage to like pillow talk after sex, except but it was more like your love of money. And so just the two of us laying there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because did they let you go?
I didn't get Scrooge McDuck. I didn't get it.
That sounds like a you reference.
No, that was theirs.
You?
And I was sitting there going, Scrooge McDuck, I don't get that. And then, so I just delivered it like I understood it. And then,
that sounds like a you reference.
No, that was theirs.
You?
And I was sitting there going, Scrooge McDuck, I don't get that. And then, so I just delivered it like I understood it. And then I did that a lot on that show. Like when I had to talk about like chemicals, like benzene, nitrobenzene. I just would stress it like nitrobenzene. Like I didn't have any idea what it was. But it worked because I was playing a guy conning people. So it was kind of funny that in real life and in the character, I had no idea what I was talking about. But anyways, the Scrooge, did you come up with that? LOL, that was hilarious. I was like, ugh, I must have...
It sounds like a you. It sounds like you...
Fooled them again. I was too afraid to say it on set, too, that I don't get it, because I was like, they're not going to bring me back. They're going to think I'm stupid. Okay, yeah, Scrooge McDuck, that's a good line. Okay.
So they want you to sound off on some people quickly. What's your opinion on Miley Cyrus?
I don't really know who she is.
That's good enough for me.
No, I don't mean that in a mean way. I think, but I obviously saw a point that someone's banged her, and I think that really kind of messed with people. Like, she knew how to move. She's a woman now, and you know what? You guys need to get over it, all right? It's her body. I don't know. Like, back in the day, if you thought somebody sucked, you know, you just told your friends. You weren't able to, like, contact them and try to weird them out while they're eating toast, you know?
Yeah.
You know? So... No, that was like right when I thought I had built up a tough enough. Then the first time it happens to you, you're just not ready. You get like 25 great things, and then that one awful one, and you're just like, because there's always a little bit of truth in it.
Yeah.
With your big stupid head. You know how many times you say you know, and you're like, I know, I keep saying you know, I suck. And it just starts messing with you. But then you start thinking about that person. Like, well, I bet they do something, you know? They probably do something bad. Maybe they suck at driving or something. They have things to work on.
When you see someone who hates you, you ever go to their Twitter feed?
One guy, he said, when are you coming to Dallas, you fucking ginger? And then I clicked on his picture and he was overweight. So I just wrote back, I was there in April, you tub of shit. And he didn't write me back, and I felt good. I felt good knowing that I hurt him. Like, I'm really anti that whole somebody gets offended by a joke and then you go and apologize. Because the second you apologize, then you make that person right, like you meant it maliciously. If you're being malicious, apologize up for homophobia.
Right.
You know, the Asian group doesn't come at you when you're whatever, making fun of fatties, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I'm sitting here, they have like Kick a Ginger Day. People are telling us we're dying out. I mean, who's sticking up for me? So, you know, go f*** yourselves.
All right, fantasy hockey draft. Who do I pick first?
I don't play fantasy. I'll if you want to play pickup hockey, I'll do that. But I don't ever want to be that guy. If you want to play pickup hockey, I'll do that. But I don't ever want to be that guy in the bar where the other team scores. And everybody's like, ah, and you're like, oh, but he's on my fantasy team. I have this team. In my biggest fantasies, this would be the team. It's just the worst thing. I like to know in the stats because I used to collect football cards and stuff like that when I was a kid, and I knew where they went to school, and you know, I like that aspect of it. But I play with a lot of guys that are better than me, so it's been a good thing. I can skate pretty good, but I equate my stick handling to like texting while driving. It's a lot of this, so it gets puck gets taken away from me real quick.
Thank you so much for being here, and check out Bill Burr, BillBurr.com, and listen to his podcast. Bill Burr, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Comedy at JFL 42. The festival is moving along so fast, and one of the best of the new generations of comedians, John Mulaney, is in town. He'll be joining us on Thursday's show. Yeah. Yes. Tomorrow, our guests are opinionated actress, comedian Janine Garofalo, the hilarious Andy Kindler, and Match Game panelist and Juice Pig, or was he Corky?
Conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. Once again, doing the Elvis thing. Right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the fuck you say it, and some white person heard it like, ah, who is that? Oh my God. Stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends, so they heightened emotion. There's some guy like, ah, get a hold of yourself, see? Yeah, go make me a pie, put it on the windowsill. Right? That's what he grew up watching. I grew up in the 70s. I thought being a truck driver was a cool thing. You know, you had a monkey for a friend. You're going around, chicks showing their titties. I thought that was the world. I had no idea. That's what I was watching. But I find out one of them's anorexic. I was like, you know what? All right. That makes me feel better. You know, I'm glad she's not eating. Hope you pass out, whack your head off your golden sink. Just to add to my day. You know, I don't get how the other Olsen twin only weighs half a pound more, but she's fucking fine. No, they're so starving, they're weak. That's why whenever they take a picture of them, hey man, I'm fucking 36, I'm not married, you know? I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. You know, let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know, isn't anybody looking at the stats? I mean, what's it like? 1 out of 2 marriages goes right down the shitter? People, if you were going skydiving and they told you half the parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Yeah. I've been dragged into that nightmare for like an hour and a half, 90 minutes just sitting there. This smells like a pumpkin. Doesn't that smell like a pumpkin? This looks like a Christmas tree. Wouldn't that be great? Smell like Christmas in the apartment? Middle of the summer, just fuck with your whole reality?
No, you know what it is? I didn't have like a really good model necessarily, like growing up. Like watching my parents, they always used to argue and shit, you know? Like I was afraid of my dad when I was growing up, you know? Anybody have a dad like that? You're just afraid of him? You know, not like those sitcom dads. They come, you want to go to the Container Store, get some containers for your T-shirts? This is the worst one. Ever get this one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! You can't say that, right? You gotta keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. You want to flip the whole fucking table over? It's horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. So one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely there with, like, the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go! So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta, like, get in the way of it to give you a head start. Like, rabid dog, run, honey. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, you chauvinistic son of a bitch. Little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I wanna go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick, though. It's kind of like living alone. You know, that same kind of fucked up freedom? You ever feel when you live alone, you, like, slowly go crazy? You know, because you got too much freedom, because everybody does crazy shit. But when you live alone and start doing something crazy, there's nobody there to be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? What is that? Put it down. My girl's actually, she's really like, tell you what to eat and when to eat it. Don't eat meat this Friday. If you eat meat this Friday, you are going to hell. It's like, dude, I'm going to a cookout on Friday. If you eat that fucking cheeseburger, buddy, that is it for you. Who is this guy? Dude, I'll eat a cheeseburger whenever I want to, and I'll jerk off. It's my dick. Why am I listening to this guy? I'll fucking jerk off while I eat a cheeseburger. What do you think about that? But I'm out, okay? You guys party way too fucking hard for me, okay? I got off at about 22 exits ago. I didn't see that page in the book. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't believe they're still in business. People are still showing up. Name one other business that could survive that shit. You think if they were fucking kids at Walmart, they could sell rakes the next day? And just try to wanted the guy to keep hanging on? It's ridiculous. They're like wheeling him from room to room, and people are still flipping. Oh, God, I think he's gonna die. I think he's gonna die. I'm so... It's like, well, I think he's gonna go to heaven. I mean, it's gotta be better than that shit. I bet the last 2 months of his life, he was just sitting in that chair going, God, I wish the world would stop praying for me. Just fucking let me go. Good Lord. Music's gonna be pumping. White people in the front row, gee, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because when black people go to church, couldn't you just feel it? That was like a half-hour material that went out the fucking window the second they picked another white dude. It was endless. Pope-mobile's gonna be pimped out, and you better not be shooting at this Pope. The black Pope will be shooting back at your ass. Start breaking it down. Yo, his first shirt be saying Monday, next shirt be saying Tuesday. Yo, on the weekend, he ain't be wearing no shirt. I'll tell you, it's actually funny. You know what? That's actually how I judge black guys now. When I first came to the city, like, all black people scared me. No, I was like the typical white dude from like the suburbs, you know what I mean? I had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was like those, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA. Dude, I ain't going up there till I know what I'm playing, because fuck this shit. So at this point, I'm really having a battle with myself. Because I'm thinking I can't do this, right? I'm like, I can't do this, but my dick's going, no, come on, man, we can do this, all right? Just relax. Pull yourself together and get on the goddamn train, right? So as always, I listen to my dick. Oh yeah, I get on the train. By the time I get up there, it's like 5 or 4 in the morning, right? I'm staying on like, pretend like I know the groups, you know what I mean? It's just getting there that's a fucking pain in the ass. But you know, I don't get mad at it, because I figure, you know, black dudes gotta go through the same shit though, right? When you go out to the suburbs, go fuck a white girl, right? Just that same awful feeling of just leaving your people behind, you know, just less and less of you as you're fucking driving out there. Probably start off lean and you're all fucking cool. 20 minutes in, you're driving like 10 and 2, the radio's out, like, dude, I don't like this shit.
Now, you can hug your daughters. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You gotta do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you gotta fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. The one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted, I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know? Comedy, can it go too far? Last night at the Tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. And maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class, all right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady! Let me handle it! I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do it. Around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? You wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that. Because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties. It was just weird. Because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married. They all had kids. And I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know?
It's legal on a state level, but not on a federal level, man.
Everybody out here dressing like they're fucking going hiking. Your North Face pajamas and all the shit you guys have. You guys all live inside. So, how have you guys been doing, man? How's your pandemic been? You enjoyed it? You got the other side. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna have my balls out, walking down the street, because that's what Jesus said in John 13. I read it in my Bible study class. I don't give a fuck.
And if I get it, I'm going to the hospital and be like, all right, fix me. You were right. Everybody, all hypocritical. All the liberals, you gotta wear the mask, wear the mask. And half of them, when they talk, they're pulling it down. They got that up under their fucking rooting for everybody. And then, I don't know. They let us outside for a couple of weeks, and then they sent us back in. And I just didn't have it in me anymore. It's like, I don't care. I just don't give a shit. You know, I hope a lot more people die. I really do. But the one good thing about this whole pandemic shit, and I really hope by the time this fucking thing comes out that this will be considered old. I don't know. God willing. But the one great... 1971! This is a bunch of fucking white people all up in arms about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne, saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for black people.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat shit that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Right? I'm just being honest. Come on, we're outside. We're in the woods. We can be honest. Just regular, who gives a fuck? Can't remember her name, looking women, right? Well, looking at these goddesses, and they had to fucking be the... How am I supposed to compete with that? You can't! How fucking arrogant are you? I don't see bread over your cabbage. Yeah. When I was a kid, you could only be crazy outside for about 15 minutes before a van would pull up and two guys in nurses' outfits would just come walking out. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Making a lot of racket out here, aren't you? Why don't you do me a favor? Try this shirt on. You're like, okay. How come the sleeves are so long? Oh, because we're going to tie your arms behind your back because you're out of your fucking mind. That's it. One on, somebody fucking limping across the street or something. And I've never been able to get close enough to talk really to anybody. You know, like they do on the news. You know, like, Jesus, you've been sitting in here, you know, for a couple of months. What is it like to be inside of this tent? I always wondered how many people they had to choke out before they could get that fucking interview. You know? Just coming in, blow darts, numbing up everybody else, building a perimeter. Yeah, I don't pay attention to shit. I don't know what's going on, right? I feel like that. I mean, I kind of know what's going on. Like I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line. I kind of know what's going on. Like I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line up with our foreign policy than these kids over here. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. How the fuck is war still legal in 2024? Can you, the body shame, I mean, yeah. It's like, yeah, it is. I can't get the fucking pizza back. At least I can make him feel bad about himself, right? Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that, but it's still socially acceptable to shoot a missile in the general direction of somebody you're upset with. You're like, dude, there was like kids over there. This is my favorite response. Well, you know, they're using kids as human shields. It's off the grass, all right? There's fucking rules to this shit. I do think it's hilarious that college kids are all freaking out, you know, fucking supporting the Palestinians. How dare the Israelis do what our country has been doing for 20 years? What the fuck? You don't do that shit, we do.